Guys, once again, yesterday I shared from Ephesians 4 about let all bitterness and wrath, just that bad attitude, that anger. And you know, today so many people are angry, and there's so much anger in a sense on the streets, and we're dealing with it. And I think that there's maybe an anger stirring up on the inside of men, a frustration and what have you. But you know, we've got to focus it correctly, and we've got to make sure that we don't let, and really almost you hear some of the modern day psychology is to blame the man, blame the authority, blame your parents, blame that. And I'm not so sure that is all good for us, and especially good for us as men, for us to be the men that God has called us to be, that we've got to get rid of that stuff. And I read verse 31 yesterday, but I want to read verse 32 from Ephesians 4. It says, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ Jesus forgave you. You know, men, I can take a look at there's times in my life that my heart has been tender, but I can also say that there are times in my life where my heart has been hard and where my heart has been cold. And men, it takes work to maintain a tender heart, a heart that feels, a heart of compassion. And men, we're supposed to be strong, and we need to be strong, but at the same time, we need to be tender, and we need to be compassionate. And it says we're to be tender-hearted, forgiving one another. One of the ways we stay tender-hearted is we forgive. We drop charges. We learn to just say, I'm going to forgive this person. I'm going to forgive what has happened there. It's amazing if you go through history, people and individuals and maybe even people groups that have been treated badly and have had bad things happen to them. There are people that have been in those settings, but they haven't gotten bitter. They haven't gotten hard. They haven't let that stuff so cause their heart to be so cold, because one of the things they've learned to do is to forgive and to release. And if nothing else, say, I forgive that person. I refuse to hold charges against them, and I drop the charges. Men, that keeps our heart tender. And it's amazing when we do that, maybe with a boss or somebody on the job or somebody that's treated us wrong. It's amazing how when we come home and we're tender-hearted towards our wives, tender-hearted towards our children, our grandchildren, and we go to church and we have a tender heart for those in need. So men, we have to, you know, it's really important to take care of your natural heart, but you know what might be even more important? Taking care of your spiritual heart so that it doesn't get clogged up and damaged by getting stuff out of your life and forgiving and dropping the charges against people that have done you wrong.